Say hey everyone, thanks for clicking this video. If you've already clicked on it, then you know why I'm recording. This is going to be my last full-time week at Pub Sports Radio. I've accepted a job offer for the Section 10 podcast, and baseball is dead. It sounds super cliche that it's a dream come true, but it is in this occasion. Now, I know what you guys are thinking off the top. This is not a forever goodbye. I will still be around Pub Sports Radio. I'll still be doing the morning shows with my friend Jimmy the Bag. I'd like to start off by thanking all you guys in the Pub Sports Radio community. Two special thank yous to the people that helped me out the most. Start obviously with Jeff Slaughter. The Don, the guy that owns Pub Sports Radio, the guy that made this all happen. Without Jeff Slaughter, I literally would not be here. So thank you for taking a chance on me and hiring me and believing in me. Thank you, Jeff. My guy, Jimmy the Bag. I mean, it's been 5 years, 6 years of I've seen Jimmy Monday through Friday every day for 5 hours at a time. Truly, he gave me a voice on screen. He brought me on, trusted me the whole time. He's a son of a bitch on screen when it comes to capping. He's a grinder, but he really does care. And every day he worked his ass off and really inspired me. So thank you, Jimmy. Thank you for helping me accomplish one of my dreams. I hope we can still share the screen and hang out every once in a while at Public. Thank you guys at Pub Sports Radio. Let's have one more massive winning week here today on Pub Sports Radio. Let's get after it, Jimmy. And let's leche y los bookmakers.
Oh, man. Oh, man. What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Welcome to the morning bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. I'm joined alongside the backbone of Pub Sports Radio, his final full official week here with us at Pub Sports Radio, Mr. Jose Bouquet. Jose, you are a sight for sore eyes, my friend. How are you?
Oh, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Can't complain. Busy days, but it's a good busy. So it's nice to see everyone in the chat. Nice to see you, Jimmy. It's the longest I haven't talked to Jimmy in like months. You know, it's him in Mexico, and then these 2 days of me being busy. But it's nice to see everyone. And shout out to y'all.
Tell us a little bit before we get to work here about the Section 10 podcast. Baseball is dead. Now, those of you who rock with us on the morning bag, you'll still get Jose Tuesday through Friday. So we still have him. Thank God. This would be a lot different if that wasn't the case. So I'm very thankful that we will have that opportunity as a community to cap with Jose every morning, Tuesday through Friday. But tell us a little bit about where we can find you, Jose, your friends and fans and loved ones.
Yeah. Shout out to the loved ones as well. Let me tell you, they're super interested. By the way, my family 1,000% didn't think the job was real after getting scammed for those gift cards.
Sure.
They were like, "Are you sure you got a job?" But yeah, I produce the Section 10 and Baseball is Dead podcast now, both on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, all of that jazz. So if you guys want to go watch there. They are like baseball news and the most popular Red Sox podcast. It's like one of the first podcasts I started listening to when I started listening to them in 2018. Now I listen to every episode, so it's crazy to actually like work for them, produce the shows, edit for them and stuff. So it's just a very big kind of dream job scenario for me. So I'll be there. They come out Monday, Wednesday, and for Thursdays. So, and then the end of Red Sox podcast or series. So tune in. We have a few recordings today. So should be a lot of fun. Obviously thanks to all you guys in the chat. We're not going to do that again and cry. By the way, that video was much longer. So shout out to Victor. Because I couldn't edit my own cringe. I could not sit there and edit my own cringe like that. So shout out to Victor for putting it together. The first thing I realized when watching that, I was like, fuck, my face has gotten fat. The old videos, I was like, damn, I look a lot skinnier back then. I'm like, shit, I have a fat face now. My yellow picket fence teeth. It's fucked.
Yeah, man. 30. When you get around 30, something changes in
I was like,
the
holy
body.
shit.
Yeah, something happens, buddy.
Like, I don't think I got like demonstrably heavier, but my cheeks are I'm storing food for the winter in there. I'm like,
Hey, at least you're not storing them in your tits, you know?
Well, that's true. You never forget that Jimmy's one of the first things he said to me. I was like, oh, I thought your tits would be more bulbous in person.
Yeah, way sloppier. I expected way sloppier. Well, Jose, on behalf of all of us, congratulations. These steps that you're taking in your career are very exciting, and sky is the limit because you're the best producer in the game, and sky is the limit for you. So congratulations, Jose. There are some things here in the chat. We have our friend Josh Witt. He is under the knife right now. He's going into surgery. And so if we could all take a few moments to send Josh Witt all the positivity, healing energy, all the love that we can to our friend Josh, who's nervous about the surgery that he's going through, and all we can do is just make sure that he knows that he's not alone today, and you're not alone, Josh. We are thinking of you, my friend. So our love and thoughts to Josh Witt. If we could all just send out some positive healing energy to our friend Josh. Justin McKelvey stacks play today 1 and 2. Ellie De La Cruz and OKC Thunder over 111.5 team total. We have the Nuke Worker Gamma Ray play today. The Avalanche on the puck line. TJ ready to get to work. Kelly McKinnis. Steve Fahrenbach says Cavs fans happening. Imagine having to watch Kenny Atkinson's dumbass face smile post game and act like he didn't just hand away this series. There's Midwest Margins. Our guy Lucas Ryan. Nasty Nate in the house. He's very excited about this possible move for you and Helga to Boston. Ronnie Lofton in the house. Ronnie Lofton, great call on the Cavs first half. I honestly thought, that the first quarter would have been the look to back them early, but you were absolutely right. They got off to that nice start. Then the Knicks came back and easily covered the first quarter, but you got the bag in the first half, Ronnie Lofton. Steve Fahrenbach says Cavs legit took years off my life. He said behind Blair Walsh's shank versus Seahawks in the playoffs. Here, Nuke says, how can anybody not love Jose? There's BT in the house. Colin Gregory, just my 2 cents flank steak play of the day is in. It is the Braves on the run line. Let me copy and paste that right under our guy Gamma Ray play of the day. We do have the MLB spreadsheet play day from Ronnie Crawford. Is the Minnesota Twins. Mark A in the house. Danzo ready to get to work. Thank you guys so much for joining us here. Now, Jose, you have a sharp out here in an hour and 21 minutes, which means you might miss my breakdown of the WNBA.
Which would really hurt my feelings.
But let's get to work. Let's fire away. We got to be tight. Now, we don't want to rush. This is extremely important. We've had back-to-back winning days. Now, hard to brag about going 9-8 plus 0.14 units yesterday.
That's a winning day, goddammit. That's what I heard.
I guess so. The Angels was a egregious error. The double up there. I thought I was in line for a really, really strong day, and it went away late. But 9-8 plus 0.14 units, we'll take it and we'll move on. Heavy action on today's slate. Jose set a table for us. Thank you guys for joining us. Jose Bouquet's last week officially with Pub Sports Radio, but he will be rocking with us Tuesday through Friday mornings. Lowe's Chudy says, Jose, you're breaking my heart this summer. Sounds like a song that Peter Loshak should write immediately.
Yeah, I thought about Don't Go Breaking Your Heart, but I feel like that could be like a summer country song there. So I can see it all. I'm picturing it all in my head now. And shout out to Peter Loshak, who I hurt his feelings when I told him. Pete was hurt. I hated to hear that. I haven't talked to Pete since then. That's how hurt he's been. So shout out to Pete. Miss my guy, Pete. Phillies, Reds. Let's talk about it. Andrew Abbott versus Aaron Nola. In this month, who are the best teams against hitting lefties? That would be your Philadelphia Phillies. Now, 158.9 plate appearances, so small sample size-ish. 150 weighted runs created plus. Number one in baseball are the Phillies versus lefties this month here. So just keep an eye out for that this month here. We've moved the split a little bit. Against righties, Cincinnati is, as I got to scroll around to find them here. There they are. 92 weighted runs created plus this month. 19th best in the league, so not the best there. This line has not really moved at all. Bet Online opened up minus 130, minus 140. It's now minus 139 there. And as for bet percentages here, we have 54% of the bets and 75% of the money on your Philadelphia Phillies. And shout out to Stacks, by the way. Stacks is in the building with Ellie Deli, 2+ total bases there for even monies. Shout out to you, Stacks.
Yes, not only shout out to Stacks, but let's watch. We're not going to get these videos anymore.
Well, they're not going anywhere. Don't worry about that. I'm not taking them with me.
Yeah, you're not taking them with you. You did leave us a couple pictures, which was nice of you. This is kind to leave this picture here.
Well, of course.
But yes, let's check it out. Stacks play today, number 1, Ellie Dela Cruz.
Stacks.
We got Los Chudi's play of the day as well. Aston Villa money line. Remember, he gave me Arsenal money line the day before I left for Mexico, and it was a casher. Shout out to Los Chudi in the house. We got Robert Franklin on De La Cruz as well. With all of this said and done, I don't care what the Phillies are doing to lefties. I don't, because you could say the same thing about what the Cubs are doing to lefties, and Abbott shut them down over 5 2/3, didn't allow a run. You could say a similar thing about the Astros and the Guardians. The Guardians are hitting lefties hard. This was a move for me on the Cincinnati Reds. Cincinnati Reds, first 5 in full game. I thought I was going to beat this line move. It took a long, long time, and I haven't. Unfortunately, I got plus 127 as soon as it was available. The first 5 at plus 110, that was a 17-cent difference. I looked on Bet365 this morning, and it was a 25-cent difference. Plus 125 for the Reds full game, a plus 100 for them first 5. This is now a plus 129 full game on the Reds. First 5, it's a plus 107, a 22-cent difference at Pinnacle. Look, I'm on them both. Shout out to Black Thor King in the house. Not yet Nuke Worker, but it could be in the works. Move to Boston. We have AM on the under 10.5 here. We also have, and I saw it here, Robert Franklin on the over 10. So cappers on either side of the fence. Look, I'm backing Andrew Abbott here. I'm fading Aaron Nola. I don't care what the Phillies are doing to lefties. I am concerned about the Reds bullpen, but the Reds got me the bag first 5 yesterday at plus money. I expect them to do the exact same thing today. Jose, I'm in.
Can't believe the total's a 10. Wow. That's high. I guess I'd lean over, but shout out to you. Let's roll right along here with the Tampa Bay Rays, Baltimore Orioles here. We've got fun pitching matchup because we've got our guy Shane Baz versus Steven Matz here. Minus 123 opener for Matz and Company has come down in the last hour or so, maybe even last 2 minutes. I don't know what time zone this fucking thing is showing me, but minus 113 is what it is now. It opened up at minus 123 and even got up to minus 127 at Bet Online. Heritage still showing minus 124. Which is interesting. Got up to minus 133 there. Bookmaker minus 113. So that has come down there. We have 73% of the bets, 75% of the money on Steven Matz and Company. So obviously the Orioles are semi-appealing to me against lefties this month. The Orioles, as we scroll on down here, 18th, 215 plate appearances, 87 weighted runs created plus against lefties this month.
Yeah, I mean, everybody here on the Rays and TJ saying Tampa Bay smash. A Nuke Worker Gamma Ray play today. Yesterday was the Rays run line. Wine Time says books keep giving out free money with the Rays. Kripke calls them the money bag Rays. I had thought that it was going to be Jesse Schulten's here. So the Steven Matz is a bit of a surprise. We knew that they weren't listing Schultens, and he's not the primary, right? We're not going to see Schultens at all. So
Let me tell you, I have RotoWire up, but I did not look. I see just Mats. Yeah, I just see Mats, and they have a confirmed lineup, but we don't know. Kevin Cash always cooking something.
And, we haven't seen Mats now since May 3rd, so he's coming back off the IL. So Orioles money line from the Goracle. Shout out to the Goracle in the house. Amar Claude catching Rays, Red Sox, and Dodgers yesterday. Trevor saying he sees Mats confirmed. Yes, it is going to be Mats. It will be Mats. Let's just go over exactly what the hell the IL stint. So it was an elbow. God, there's so many strange situations with elbow. The Joe Ryan leaving after 1 out with extreme discomfort in his elbow, and then starting again 5 days later without a problem and delivering.
That was crazy.
It's but here we have left elbow inflammation. I mean, look, we've seen such, we have Freeland pitching today. We watched him have 4 very strong starts, deal with left shoulder inflammation, and now he can't get out. Ronnie Lofton says right back to the under here. I guess I have some interest with you guys here. I have some interest. I'll leave it at that. I had raised question mark earlier. I mean, what we talked about on last night's show was we watched Taj Bradley. Taj Bradley have this great season. He was jettisoned and ditched by the Rays, just like Shane Baz. And Taj Bradley came back to Tampa and got destroyed after having great start after great start. It just feels like this Rays brain staff knows so much. They just know every single little intimate detail about these pitchers, and then they'll get after Shane Baz as well. So. Newgore says, shouldn't Tampa be an autoplay every day until further notice? Should they be, Jose? Am I leaving money on the table? Because I had TBR question mark. That was when I thought Schultens was pitching. I don't trust Mats at all.
We talked about this the other day with Wine Time. Even with the line move against the Rays, it seems like they still find a way. I personally, it's Orioles or nothing. So I'm staying off. The market's just screaming Orioles a bit too much, and I think Shane Baz could have a little bit of Rebenga on the mind, but it's Orioles or nothing, yeah.
Shout out to TV Jones in the house. Great to see you. Jose, I guess I just maybe I should just shut up, and it's just hard to want to trust Mats. I can understand fading Baz. Agorica says Baz revenge game. Look, we said the same thing about Taj Bradley, and he got annihilated. But I get it. I get it, Goracle, and I get your angle here. TV Jones says Orioles have been hitting left-handed pitching, but don't trust the bullpen race. Find a way. Rod Swag says Baz against old team is a pass. TJ says Baz can try all he wants. Raise offense, bro. And there's Wage Detective in the house. Let's roll on. I'll sit with this after the game and after the show and decide whether I should join you guys here. But let's roll on, Jose.
Houston Astros, Minnesota Twins. God, this Astros team sucks. My God.
They won yesterday. Shout out to Dav Fenn. Dav Fenn said they're going to win yesterday because they're going to lose to Joe Ryan. And then he said if they lose on Tuesday, he's done. But he's not done. Shout out to you, Dav Fenn. That was a great call. Keep rolling, Jose.
By the way, I was thinking about, I don't know why, I was thinking about Cimbino and Guano the other day. And
there he is. Cimbino and Guano. Oh, no.
I was thinking about him. Just, man, the Mets. Shout out to Sabino and shout out to Dav Fan here.
I hate when these guys say, I'm putting my whole career on the line. If I lose this bet, you'll never see me again. And we're like, no, it's not worth it. And then they lose and we never see them again.
And then Sabino's gone. He only pops in for a quick minute nowadays.
Yeah.
60% of the bets, 70% of the money on Joe Ryan against Mikey Burrows here, who, by the way, Mike Burrows, the only starting pitcher that was active and pitching on opening day. That's starting pitcher, obviously, that is left in their starting rotation. So that is just hilarious to say. They have been decimated, and they weren't that good to begin with. Minus 161 opener. Guess what? It's down to minus 145 now. So are the Astros showing life? Mike Burrows might be their best pitcher left. Minus 150, down to minus 144, a bookmaker. We have, like I said, 660 and 70 on Minnesota, 64 and 89 on the under in this game too. So people thinking Mikey Burrows pitches well here. Definitely don't hate the TJ special here, first 5 plus a half. What do you think, Jimmy?
So, of all of the spots that we talked about adding last night, this was the only one I didn't move on. And I first 3 under, full game under, and first 5 plus a half on the Astros sitting here, and I couldn't do it. Shout out to Walla Dose. By the way, Rod's Wax has been on Tampa Bay on the money line versus an AL team with the slugging percentage 400 or worse on the season. Tampa Bay record during 2026, 22-4. AM on the under 8 here. AM says total's now a 9.5 in Cincinnati, Philadelphia here. And we did have a capper on the over, the wager detective on the over 8. I mean, it feels like this line move towards the Astros would be telling us that either A, Burrows is going to pitch really well here and have a bounce back start, because the start prior to that May 14th start at home to the Mariners, 7 earned runs over 5 2/3, he was excellent at the Reds, and he had 3 straight really strong starts in a row. So it's either A, Burrows has a very strong start, or B, Joe Ryan is vulnerable here. Shout out to the truth teller in the house. I do not think, it's easier to say that Burrows will have a good start.
Mark Claude, very insistent that the Astros will not win.
Yes, he is very, very, very. He is. No, in capitals. Mark Claude was using lowercase earlier. So, sometimes.
Well, now he means it.
Yeah, but sometimes people only use uppercase. And they're always, but here, Mark Claude is screaming. He said, have you seen the game yesterday? Didn't that finish 2-1 Astros? I know it did.
I mean, maybe he's just saying they won yesterday, they're not going to win again type beat.
I don't know what the hell he's saying now, because he said, have you seen the game yesterday? Yeah, I saw the game yesterday. The Astros won. Dad fan got paid. But I hear what you're saying, Mark Claude, and I'm not saying I won't heed your advice.
A lot of bullpen use, I guess. Shout out to Mark. Brian King, 26 pitches, probably not available. 9 pitches from Abreu, 17 from Okert, and Anil De Los Santos going to be fine. Your good friend Nate Pearson is now on the team again.
I was on the over as well, Def, and that did cost me. TV Jones saying, without Jeffers, that's a huge bat out of the lineup. Buxton had 2 doubles, got hit, and they lost 2-1. Twins offense so bad. Buxton back is huge, but lose their second best bat. I think I should pull the trigger on all 3 of these spots. I think that the first 5 plus a half is probably the most vulnerable. We want to know what the price difference is between full game and first 5. So we'll go over to Penny right now. Penny has the plus 128 for the Stros full game, and first 5 they're plus 131. Even the fact that that's not a big difference for a Joe Ryan start when these bullpens are awash, you would think that the advantage would be Joe Ryan over Mike Burrows, and the books are saying that's not quite the case. Do I really want to have 3 units on this? I guess I'm more comfortable with the first 3 under in the full game under. The first 3 under in the full game under is a bet on Burrows. I think I pulled the trigger on these 3. What do you think, Jose?
Yeah, Astros are nothing. I haven't moved on it, but I do like the Astros. Maybe I'll find the courage at some point as well.
But Wager Detective, adamant, over 8 looking great, says the Wager Detective. I think I add these 3 spots here. I've been wanting to. I wanted a sign from the books on the total. I mean, we're waiting and waiting and waiting. Bookmakers moved it slightly to the over. This line came out at 1:12 p.m. yesterday. There was an immediate move 11 minutes later towards the under 10 cents, and then it's not moved. So we're sitting here, 22 hours later, and it's not moved. I'm interested. Jose, let's roll.
And TJ, let me know what you think about the TJ special here. That's what I would be moving on if I had to pick one bet in this game. Yeah. Next, Rockies, Rangers here. Again, it's always weird to see the Rockies as a close underdog. I'm used to seeing them just getting blown out on these occasions, but close underdog here. 69% of the bets, 82% of the money on Texas and Jack Leiter here. Kyle Freeland on the other side here. Not any line movement at Bet Online. It got up to minus 135 at one point, but has come all the way back down to minus 120 here, with again 69 and 82% of the money on the Texas Rangers here. Heritage minus 133 opened up at minus 128, but I need to refresh because it is down to minus 127 again here. Maybe that guy, Kyle Freeland, can go out there and pitch well. I believe Jack Leiter has pitched in Colorado. I'm going to tell you guys.
He is not. We did this last night. He's not.
Oh, okay, good. There we go.
I thought he had two. I had this, but he is not.
Well, I can tell you pitched versus them, but not at them. So you are 100% right there. He faced them last year, first time in Coors. We all know what that is, the thin air, etc. We won't go too much into that, but we all know what those recipes are baking. Against lefties, the Texas Rangers are 74 weighted runs created plus this month, only 104 plate appearances against them, which, by the way, is the least amount this month so far, but 74 weighted runs created plus in this month, not very good. I want the Colorado Rockies here, Jimmy. What do you think?
This one is tricky. First off, Bob, it's not. This game's going to go. It's not going to start on time. And I shouldn't say this game's going to go. I expect the game to go. It's not going to start on time. There's full rain showers around the opener. And then there's light rain around 5 p.m. local time. So we do think this game goes. It doesn't start on time. There's 4 games questionable right now. And the Cincinnati-Philadelphia game being one of them. It's plus 25% runs, plus 4% homers, plus 27% doubles and triples, and plus 16% singles. No one's hitting lefties as bad as the Texas Rangers. It's unbelievable. Weighted runs created like a little over 50 over the last 30 days. Versus lefties, 206, 575 OPS. The line moving towards the under is predicated on the fact that they can't hit lefties. Well, Sammy Peralta, a pitcher who I don't think we'll ever see in majors again, with his 88 mile per hour fastball, throwing sliders 50% of the time because his fastball is so hittable. He was a lefty and he got touched up immediately by the Rangers. And shout out to Kumar Rocker quickly too with what he did yesterday, 7 2/3. I think he's going to be a beast. I think he's going to be a monster as we move forward. And Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker are very close, and I think that Leiter follows Rocker's example. I just look at what happened after Freeland went on the IL. I mean, it's insane. He has 3 starts before going on the IL. He allows 4 earned runs. That's it. Just 4 earned runs over 15 2/3. He looks very strong. Goes on the IL. He comes back, and he is now allowed 23 earned runs. 23 earned runs over 18 innings. So I just don't. I find it impossible. I just found it impossible to believe. Look, I know that Freeland's better than Sammy Peralta, but he certainly hasn't looked better over the last few starts. So I understand that this was a very questionable decision. We also have this Rangers bullpen playing elite. Rocker threw for 7 2/3 last night, so this bullpen is ready to go. Now, this bullpen, a lot of them have never pitched at Coors, but I moved on the Rangers. I felt like I just had to. Now, I moved at a bad time. I got minus 128. We got a minus 126 here. And by the way, Troy Torrance moving on the over in Cincinnati, Philly. We have TV Jones says, I can't take Freeland game plus 113, but he hates Leiter too. Says, good spot. Is any to look good versus Rockies offense? We'll see how this all bangs out. But I felt like I just had to trust myself enough to back the Rangers here. And this would not be a bet we would have made last year, right? I wouldn't have already bet it. We would spend 3 hours on the MLB card. We would talk about it. We talk about how fishy this line is, and I would have stayed off of it. But I made the move here on this one. And Mark Claude says it's over or nothing in this game. I mean, if you have the balls and the confidence to go up against these major market moves, these big market moves, I applaud that. I'm not one of those that can do that. So this total has made a massive move towards the under, which implies that Freeland will shut down the Rangers. If Freeland was pitching okay right now, I'd probably think something different, but I'm a public schmuck on the Rangers here, and we'll see how it plays out.
I bet the Colorado Rockies in this game plus 105 for me.
I get it. I get it. Let's roll on.
Let's roll on here to San Francisco versus the Diamondbacks here. Rafael Devers coming to life here. What a surprise. He's becoming good. And I saw back-to-back with Willie Adames. Maybe those those Giants are starting to find some life here. We've got Tyler Mahle versus Merle Kelly, who threw his first ever complete game, I believe, in his last appearance. Maybe it was the one before.
It was his last appearance, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So his last appearance that he did that complete game, first time in his career. He was like 90 pitches too, so it wasn't 100 pitches. So there we go. So it wasn't anything too excessive pitch-wise here, but there's 72% of the bets on him, but 69% of the money on the Giants here and Los Gigantes. Minus 125 opener at BetOnline is now minus 127 there. We've got minus 130s at like Heritage here. That opened up at minus 132. So not much movement, but a slight couple cents towards the direction of the Diamondbacks here, Jimmy.
We do have a closed roof in this spot. Jose, I'm a sucker for these vets. And there's two vets with horrible numbers that I'm backing today. I think we can explain Merrill Kelly's season thus far. He missed the first few weeks with the back injury. Look, he had a great year. He's 37 years old. He had a great year last year with Arizona, traded to Texas at the deadline, and he didn't look very good as a Texas Ranger. He comes back to Arizona. His first start's okay. The next three starts were horrific. I mean, he allows 19 runs over the three starts. You have to think that he's just getting back into his rhythm. The back injury cost him a lot of time. I mean, if you look at a 37-year-old coming in off of an injury, look at a young kid. Look at how long it took George Kirby to start pitching well last year after he missed the first 6 weeks or 8 weeks of the season. Now, Merrill Kelly missed a few less weeks. The last start, as Jose said, he threw 100 pitches. Over his 6 starts, he's had games where he's thrown 101 and 104 already. In his last 2 starts, he's been excellent. And I don't see why it doesn't change here. He's back home. The roof is closed. I want to fade Tyler Mahle on the road as much as possible. And I've done that here. Now, this line is not moved in my favor, which, again, it was really expensive. So I question my timing and more than that. But I have, actually, I guess I beat this. So I have minus 125 on the full game. Looking at a minus 131 right now at Penny, which is good. Only a minus 132 on the first 5. There had been quite a difference because I got minus 134 in the first 5. I would prefer seeing a bigger difference to ensure that Mahle is going to get touched up. Mahle is good in pitcher-friendly environments, and if you consider the Diamondbacks with the roof closed, pitcher-friendly environment, which lots do, then this should be an okay start for him. Rod's Wax says Giants have lost 8 of their last 9 road games following a loss. Justin McKelvey on the Diamondbacks. Ronnie Lofton on San Francisco under 9. AM is on the Arizona Diamondbacks. AM says fading the Giants on the road is good money. Rod's Wax says bet on Arizona on the money line when playing against a bad team. Winning percentage between 38% and 46%. Arizona record during the 2026 season 9-0. I'm backing Merrill Kelly, my friend Merrill Kelly, and I'm also backing Zach Littell today. So. Jose, I'm doubled up here. Let's roll on.
All right, let's roll on. White Sox Mariners. Shout out to the South Side as they are having a baseball resurgence, which is nice to see here. We've got, where are we? Openers at minus 135 at BetOnline is now minus 132. Sean Burke versus Emerson Hancock, and this is going to be a battle for Jimmy's heart. Well, we all know that Emerson Hancock's the apple of Jimmy's eye. Minus 150. Yeah, we know. Minus 150. Openers now minus 151 at Heritage. So truly not much movement. Seemingly across the board. 62% of the bets, 86% of the money on the over. Just to stir the pot here, Jimmy, 72% of the money, 72% of the bets are on the under. 76% of the money is on the over in this game. So some big bettors are allegedly out there betting the over. What do you think about this game?
The market has kind of shut me down here, but I still think I wanted to talk it out further. These two pitchers met 2 starts back in Chicago, and it was a 12-8 final score, and they both got lit up and smoked. So who is going to zag after the zig? And it's pretty easy to say, well, Emerson Hancock. We know that because if you look at his last 2 starts at home, Friday, May 15th at home versus the Padres, 6 innings, 1 earned run, 6 Ks, 1 walk, thing of beauty. Saturday, May 2nd at home to the Royals, 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 14 strikeouts, and no walks.
Sorry to interrupt, Jimmy, but shout out to Josh Witt, who just jumped in here to stop in to say hello before the surgery. Shout out to you, Josh. We talked about you off the top as well. Good luck, my man.
We did. We talked about you off the top, Josh. Sending love, energy, positive vibes, healing energy. However you guys handle it, however you handle this, whether you pray or whether you just put out the positive vibes or whatever it is you do, if you could send some good vibes to our friend Josh Witt, we are thinking of you, my man. Thinking of you, my man. TB Jones says Mariners over -120 is auto fade. The offense is putrid. White Sox can hit and score, 2 things the Mariners seemingly struggle with daily. Justin, the answer would be I guess the answer is no. Auburn 400 in house, new day, new money. Billy Frieder got a 13-1 ticket for the Sox to finish first or second in the division. Shout out to my guy Ron Young in the house representing the 604. So I think that it's the easiest explanation here is that Hancock will bounce back. The problem is Burke, it could easily bounce back too. So this last 2 starts have been ugly. He allowed 10 earned runs over 8 2/3. But if you go to the 2 starts before that, 13 and a 30 does not allow an earned run. We have a run suppressing ballpark here. So, and then the taking a -0.5 in the first 5 with an offense that can't be trusted is not enjoyable. So I could easily back an under here. Something that I haven't done. I have zag under in first 5 -0.5 with question marks. I said that those Astros bets were the only ones that I was close to. I didn't move on. I forgot about these 2. So this is appealing. If I forced you to make a bet on this game, Jose, whether it be side or total, what would that be? Are you muted, my man?
There we go. That's a good question. I'd probably one bet here, huh? I'm gonna go back to the market. I'd probably go White Sox.
TJ said Seattle's hitting righties last 14. Seattle's hitting righties the last 30. I know the 253, 754 OPS last 30. They're hitting righties, not quite as hard as the White Sox, but they're hitting them. Sorry, Jose, keep rolling.
They were feeling desperate as well, calling up. What's the fucking shortstop name? Colt something. I forget his name
Emerson.
already. Colt Emerson. See, I was thinking that's hilarious. That first name is Emerson. We've got old Emerson on the mound here. Yeah, I mean 7th and weighted runs created +2. So I get it, but I think I'd still be White Sox first 5 +0.5 or nothing.
Yeah,
low scoring game. Hoping that Sean Burke can keep it together. I've had a lot of faith in Sean Burke and the dearly departed Shane Smith this year. So.
T-Mobile -13% runs, -7% homers, -21% doubles, triples, -4% singles. It's gotten a little worse, but I don't know if I move on this game. I would like to take that zag here after the zig. TJ's on Seattle first 5 in full game. TJ, are you not going to bother with the -0.5 or the -1 because it is expensive? And by the way, Nutflush Allen in the house says, I don't have exact numbers on him, but he says the last game on the series on the road this year for San Francisco has been almost an auto loss. Says he's heavy on Arizona today. When the team is in the mindset like San Francisco, he says, bad spot here. And he is laying the vig, TJ. I guess I need more time. I don't want to sit here in a hem and haw on this one. I need more time. I want to sit with this market a little bit longer. I would like to fade what everybody just saw 2 weeks ago. So I would like to be on an under here, but I'm hesitant. I'll take some time after the show.
Okay, let's roll on Braves Marlins. Braves, the best team in baseball. Cannot believe it. Shout out to them. Alex Anthopoulos, really good at his job. We got Chris Sale, Jansen Junk. So my heart's torn here, but Junk really struggled in his last outing. I remember that very vividly. We've got 81% of the bets, 95% of the money on Chris Sale. And the Braves here, 75 and 87 on the under. This line is a well, it's interesting. Like Bovada, it's minus 200 here. It opened up at minus 199. Bet online got up to minus 197 and is now down to minus 189 after opening at minus 186. So some definite movement back and forth in this game as well. Heritage is minus 199, opened up minus 194. So that's fascinating. All the bets and money on Chris Sale and company. There are, let's see their numbers against lefties. Marlins third best against lefties this month so far, 138 weighted runs created plus. Now, obviously, I'm sure everyone is thinking the same thing I am now, so I'll do this for us here. Who are the Marlins lefty starters that they faced this month to get them to have such a good numbers here? They saw Martin Perez, 5 innings, 4 earned runs. I'm seeing Foster Griffin, 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 earned or 2 crossed that day. Cade Povich, 3 and 3. Jesus Luzardo, 6 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs. So really not that much success against the guys I've seen. So it must be some relievers or something. But honestly, I consider myself a junk man. I stick with my guy, I guess, even though he had a terrible outing last time out. And I'll tell you guys right now, it was 5 2/3, 10 hits, 7 earned runs, so 2 home runs coming after a 4-inning performance there. Hasn't seen the Braves this year. Again, maybe I'm a broken record of leaning first 5+ a half, but that's what it'd be at again here. What do you think, Jimmy?
The Marlins are hitting lefties hard. So are the Cubs. 6 innings, no earned runs against Sale. So are the Dodgers. 2 earned runs over 7 innings against Sale. Rockies are hitting them okay. 1 earned run, 7 innings against Sale. Phillies, you talked about how they're hitting lefties harder than anybody else. 1 earned run over 7 innings against Sale. The Guardians are hitting lefties hard right now, and I love backing them against lefties. 1 earned run over 6 innings against Sale. So, I tried to figure out what I thought was the best risk reward. And again, these are some pretty public spots that I wasn't on last year or the year before. But I couldn't help myself with the Braves first 5 minus a half, minus 124. It was minus 120 when we talked about it on the show. It was minus 124 when I went and bet it. It's minus 123 now. That's all at Penny, which gives you better lines because I saw it at minus 140 at Bet365. But, it wouldn't be beyond the realm of possibilities for Junk to pitch well here. These last 2 starts have been terrible. 11 earned runs over 11 2/3, 17 hits, 3 home runs allowed. But he's a pitcher that I do believe in. In saying all that, it's very – I would have preferred the -1 probably, but it was too expensive. And the first 5 minus half was within my price range. So I made it simple. Backing Sale. If Jansen Junk wants to shove here, more power to him. I don't think look, he can turn it around, and I don't know if this is a spot to do it necessarily. But if he was to allow, let's say, 2 earned runs over 5 innings, I expect to cash my first 5 minus a half, and he had a good start, bounce back start. So I am on the Sale first 5 minus a half. Rod's Wax says bet on Jansen Junk on the run line is underdog of plus 120 to plus 175. Junk's record since the 2025 season 9-0. Robert Cherry smelling money says Braves minus 1.5 full game first 5 under 3.5. Sees the Braves attacking the Marlins bullpen. And Billy Friedrich says congrats on your new opportunity, Jose. Very happy for you, but sadly I won't see you as much on PSR. He says I admire the video you posted on X. Rod's Wacky is on the plus 1.5 at plus 105 for the Marlins. I'm on the Braves first 5 minus a half, minus 124.
All right, let's roll on. Shout out to you, Billy Friedrich. Nice to see you, my man. I think about you with the White Sox quite frequently, so shout out to you. Guardians, Tigers next on our board here. We've got Tanner Bybee versus undecided. Who do you have, Jimmy?
So when we looked into this, we expected to be Drew Anderson, who we don't know a lot about. He's a journeyman pitcher. He was in Japan. I've got a bunch of stats for him. He's looked quite good to start the year. That's who we expect. I don't want to put too much time into it until we can get some confirmation, but we expect it to be the journeyman Drew Anderson. We just saw him in that Ty Madden start. Ty Madden got hit with a liner, and then Drew Anderson came in and he pitched really well. So that's who we expect at this point is Drew Anderson on the hill, but no confirmation anywhere.
Well, people are betting the Tigers without any confirmation, apparently. 72% of the bets, 80% of the money on the Tigers thus far against Bybee. I'm seeing Bet Online open this at minus 117, no movement. Bovada's moved quite a bit here. Minus 133 is now minus 123 there. Heritage, minus 124, minus 122, excuse me, now. It was a minus 131. I lean Cleveland here, but it's tough to bet, obviously, when you don't know who the other pitcher is.
I want to back Bybee. I love Bybee. I prefer to back Bybee at home. The Guardians have just treated him like trash, just not delivering for him at all, not scoring any runs on for him. 4.15 ERA, 1.35 WHIP. He's got 3.74 xERA, but 0-6 here. Just not getting any offense. The last loss 2-1 in extra innings. He's lost 1-0 at home to the Rays. He's lost 2-0 at home to the Astros. I mean, just not getting any help here, and I like him. Drew Anderson is in that. Now, I know Foster Griffin's probably a bad example. Maybe Anthony Kay's a better example because Anthony Kay looked great against the Mariners last night. Foster Griffin did look good at first, but here's a guy who just wasn't getting any love. Major League Baseball. He was just getting little cups of coffee with the Philadelphia Phillies, couple cups of coffee with Chicago White Sox. It was another most of the year spent at Round Rock. Rangers wouldn't give him a chance, so he left. He went and pitched for Hiroshima. He pitched for Hiroshima in 2022. He was good. In 2023, he was excellent. Then he tried to come back in 2024. Detroit wouldn't bring him up, so he said, fuck it, I'm off to Korea. And he went to the KBO, and he wasn't that good in 2024. I mean, he was good. He was very good in 2025, and he's earned this opportunity. Mark Klotz says the Tigers hit a Bybee very well. Robert Franklin says Cleveland's lost 9 straight Bybee starts, and TJ says that Philly is getting hammered right now at the tote. That's not what I want to hear. So we have a big move, a 10-cent move towards the Phillies, minus 137 to minus 147. Damn, that is not a good sign. Nola and the Phillies getting hammered. This game just has a ton of question marks. If we go over Bybee's last road starts, his last 2 starts have come at home. At the Royals, he allowed 4 earned runs over 4 innings. And then he had 3 straight home starts, which were nice. At the Braves, he allowed 8 earned runs over 4 2/3. He had a nice start at the Dodgers, but he didn't go deep. So he's not looked good on the road. And he's had so many home starts. And they're very familiar with them, the Detroit Tigers. I would like the Drew Anderson confirmation to study it a little bit more, but I think this could pretty comfortably be a stay off at this point.
All right. Nothing for either of us here. New York Mets, Washington Nationals next on our board. James Wood inside the park home run last night. Or I guess yesterday. It wasn't a nighttime game, but that was pretty crazy. We've got Zach Thornton versus Zach Littell. Is that Zach? I forget his first name. I just think of Jerry Thornton for whatever reason.
Zach Thornton, Zach Littell.
Thank you. 85% of the bets on Thornton here, but only 50-50 money splits there. So a lot of bets, but not enough tickets on the Metropolitans here. Nationals against lefties because Thornton is a lefty. 155 plate appearances, 133 weighted runs created plus this month so far, 5th best. So hitting him really well so far this month against Zach Littell, who we have talked about many a times on this program here as a Tampa Bay Ray, moved over to the Nationals, coming off of a 5-inning shutout performance against the Orioles here. Before that, 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned at Miami. So he's been done pretty well last 3 starts. He underwent a 3-start rough patch of giving up 8 runs in 3 starts back to back to back. So seemingly has gotten past it. We'll see what happens today. Minus 123 opener, minus 122 now at Bet Online, which is ridiculously cheap for this Mets team. And it makes me feel like the Nationals should be bet. What do you think?
I bet the Nationals. First 3 and first 5. I want to say that this, stinks, but just reeks of I mean, look, Kodai Senga goes down to the IL, and then Clay Holmes suffers the fractured fibula. The the one thing that was a bit of a surprise was that Jonah Tong was not called up, and some people thought that Jack Wenninger would have been called up as well. Uh, so so that Thornton looked really good in spring training, and I imagine that's kind of what put him ahead here. But it just kind of this whole thing sort of reeks of desperation for me. He's fifth round pick in 2023 out of Grand Canyon, and he did not look good when he started in pro ball. He did not look good in A ball. In Double A, he didn't have swing and miss stuff. He gets soft contact, but his swing and miss climbed a little bit this year at Syracuse. Struck out 13 over 12 innings. The fastest he can throw is 94. It's mostly like 91 and 92. He's got a slider that can run away against left-handed pitchers, but I think this is a very, very difficult spot for him. And I can't explain what the hell went wrong with Zach Littell, but I can compare him to Merrill Kelly. And Zach Littell with the Rays was very good. He gets traded at the deadline to Cincinnati, and he struggles. Still overall, he had a 1.10 whip over 186 and 2/3 last year. He gets the season started in okay shape. Those first two starts were fine. And then actually his first three starts were fine, basically. And then he starts getting tagged and tagged and tagged. He has three starts where he allows 18 earned runs over 13 and 2/3. So it's ugly. Then the last three starts have been strong. I think the Mets are desperate. They're desperate for pitching, and you could say easily that Clay Holmes has been their best pitcher this year. Now he's got the fibula injury. So they're desperate. They bring up Zach Thornton. I think that Zach Littell is going to show, just like Merrill Kelly, that he's so much better than these numbers indicate. And look, they're disgusting. 6.10 ERA, 1.50 whip, 7.72 xERA. I got the Nats first five plus 103, and I took the Nats first three at 365 at minus 115. So, look, I'm backing Zach Littell, and honestly, I love these two bets. Now, having more confidence on them doesn't necessarily mean they're just winning the spots, and it doesn't give me necessarily a higher ROI. But when it's all said and done, these might be my favorite two bets on the MLB card. But in saying that as well, we didn't know exactly who was going to be starting, so we didn't break down Zach Thornton too heavy last night. And I think they're a desperate ball club, the Mets are. And the Nationals are this freak baseball team. They've scored the most runs and they've allowed the most runs. We never see that in Major League Baseball. But I expect them to deliver, hitting 254, 770 OPS last 30 days versus lefties. Mets 236, 686. And, I'm in business. So Nats first three, Nats first five. TJ also with me on the Nats first five. Mark Claude says Littell is so trash. I mean, Mark Claude, if you're judging Zach Littell on what he has done this season, sure. If you're disregarding every single thing this veteran has done in his career, that's fine. But I'll defend him like I defended Emerson Hancock when Capper after Capper and the Capper in our chat talked about how trash he was. So, it's always up to you to focus on whatever angles help you get the bag. And but I do not think that Zach Littell is trash. Do you think Merrill Kelly's trash? I think they're similar pitchers on a similar trajectory this year. So I'm on the Nats first three and first five.
All right, I'm on Nationals first five, even money with you and TJ as well. New York Yankees, Toronto Blue Jays next on our board here. Very wide line here. I was going to say thick, but that would have gotten weird quickly. Two young pitchers, Trey Savage versus arguably the best pitcher in baseball this year in Cam Schittler. 66% of the bets and 65% of the money on Los Yankees here. Minus 150 opener is now minus 170 at Bet Online. Not often you see those huge line movements at Bet Online there. Heritage, we've got minus 162 to minus 175 now. Opener there, like I said, is 66 and 65 on the Yankees in this game.
Yeah, I messed this one up, man. It's such a sick feeling. And today, at 1:15, I'll be sitting here refreshing BOL over and over again. That's what our new schedule is set up. We got to be beating these line moves. And I really thought that when this opened up under 7.5 minus 105, that this would start moving towards the under, and I was extremely wrong. There is some rain issues in the Bronx today. Why don't we just quickly look at that here, Bronx weather here. So we have some full rain at different times today. We don't have rain until later. So this one, pops off at 7:05, and that's right when the rain is supposed to hit. Full rain, and it doesn't stop until about midnight. So it's a problem. So this game, it's possible that it doesn't go here, but I loved and have loved. There's Savage is such a bulldog on the mound. He's afraid of nothing. He's fearless, and you can say the same thing about Schlittler. Savage was, our best pitcher last year when he came up. He was spectacular. I moved on the under 7.5 minus 105, and it within 2 hours, an hour and a half, it moved to minus 115 to the over, and then when it moved to 8, it was juiced to the over, and that's when you're in trouble. Thankfully, we got Morgan Spooner in the chat. Because I felt sick, like just immediately sick to my stomach, and Spooner, said that he, agreed with the thought process that Savage is capable of slowing down the Yankees, and that Schlittler is spectacular, and he moved on the under 8 at minus 105 at that point, and his calming words helped me very much to stop feeling so sick about the spot. But I also want to back Schlittler. I want to back the Yankees, but I do fear Savage. I guess. Look, this line's moved 19 cents and more at some books, but 19 cents here at BetOnline minus 150 to minus 169. And when you go to the first 5 here, price difference over at Pinnacle, you get the Yankees at minus 169, and then first 5 we have them at minus 189. I should probably just. I guess it's my own fandom that is keeping me from taking the Yankees first 5 minus a half, but the market is telling us that it should be bet. So Rod Zwacky here says bet under the total New York Yankees home games for AL teams scoring 4.4 or less runs a game on the season. Under his record since 2025, 32-13. Mark A is on Savage over 5.5 Ks. AM says Yankees at home 8-2 last 10 to the over. He's riding the over train. Robert Franklin on the Blue Jays money line. Justin McKelvey on Judge RBI at plus 120. I could have got Schlittler minus a half at a cheap, much, much cheaper price last night, and I was afraid to do it. So I shouldn't let this team force me to do it. So it's nothing. Well, the under 7.5, I don't expect to add anything. But if I did add something, it'd probably be Yankees first 5 minus a half. That's a big 20-cent difference against a beast in Savage. 1.40 ERA, 1.29 WHIP, 2.05 xERA. The only reason why he allowed that early run in the game against the Tigers was a couple walks and a wild pitch. He still does have some control issues, but he's a bulldog, not afraid of Schlittler and the Yankees. Rod Swagger says the move to the over tells me the trade is getting rocked. Yeah, I agree. They're going from 7.5 to 8 and having a 20-cent difference on the first 5 minus 116. So we already had the 19-cent move towards the Yankees, and the first 5 minus 189. Yeah, I agree. I'm still hesitant though. I'm still hesitant to chase this team. So at this point, I'm adding nothing, Jose.
All right, nothing for Jimmy. Let's roll on. Red Sox Royals. Next on our board here, we have Connolly Early versus Michael Wacha, whose longevity is astounding every day. We've got Royals against lefties here. 28th, 65 weighted runs created plus and 164 plate appearances this month so far. So pretty bad. These two teams are very similar to each other. They both can pitch a little and they both can't hit worth a shit. Minus 119 is where the Royals opened up at. It is down to minus 113. Red Sox going for the sweep today. Heritage minus 119 opener, minus 119 is where it's at now. It opened up at minus 120, so not much movement there. But BetOnline has definitely moved this towards the Red Sox and Connolly Early. It's given up a little bit more home runs than recently. I mean, he didn't give up home runs at all last year. It's been kind of a little bit more of an issue this year, but he's been just one of the better pitchers on the Red Sox staff. And this Red Sox team can't hit. They refuse. I think it's been 9 straight games that it's been 3 runs or less. I
thought they went for 7 last night.
Oh, excuse me. Before that, I apologize.
Okay. They hadn't scored anything. They exploded very late in the 9th inning.
Yeah, it was a Jarren Duran 9th inning home run.
It
was 3-1, and then they scored the 3-4 extra there. But point is, their offense has been terrible before then. 8 straight games of 3 runs or less. Duran finally hits a home run in the 9th to get them to 7. But the point is, this offense is not good. I still lean under in every Red Sox game. I don't know if I can get there today, but what do you think?
I could get there. I had Royals with 5 question marks from last night's show, but I don't want, they do not look good. They've got no offense. Caglione is having good at bats, but he's not. It's just the Bobby Witt show. They got nobody helping him at this point offensively. And the Red Sox, I moved on thinking I was going to beat the line move. It felt like there was very sharp action on the Royals yesterday, although it didn't, come through. But I could easily get to this under. I like Conley early, 3.21 ERA, 1.21 WHIP, a 4.71 xERA, but the last 2 starts have been strong. He did look like he was hitting a bit of a speed bump there between the Tuesday, April 21st start at home to the Yankees, which was fine. 3 earned runs over 5 1/3. Then 2 earned runs over 6 2/3 at the Orioles, which was nice. I guess there's only that one bad start at home versus the Astros. 5 earned runs here. And, TJ saying back in the Royals versus any lefty is insanity. Over 30 days, the Royals are hitting lefties much harder than the Red Sox are hitting righties. But I get that. Both bullpens are pitching at a very elite level. I could easily get to this under. Waka has not been lights out of late, and he's a pitcher who does deal with arm fatigue. So he had a great start on May 9th, but the last start was a quality start at the Cardinals. 3 earned runs in 6 innings. The 3 starts before that, he allowed 12 earned runs. That's over 17 1/3. He just looked a little more vulnerable. The problem with me, I lost with him on April 22nd at home versus the Orioles. He allowed 6 earned runs over 5 1/3. And then he didn't have a bounce back start. I didn't back him in the next one, and it was a tricky spot in Sacramento. But I could easily get here to the unders. What's keeping you off of them? I'd like to see the price of the first 3 under and then add the full game under. What would keep you from betting this, Jose?
I'm not a fan, of Walk against the Red Sox. I just don't think, I don't have his numbers all time against the Red Sox, but whenever I see him against the Red Sox, it doesn't seem to go well for him. Red Sox bullpen has not given up a run in this series so far. But yesterday they used Whitlock, Slayton, Semenigo, and that was Whitlock on a back-to-back and Slayton on a back-to-back. So today is probably going to be the lesser pieces of the bullpen, I assume. Chapman got a day off yesterday, so if it's a safe situation, I'm sure he'll be out there. But it's going to be like Semenigo on a back-to-back, Zach Kelly on a back-to-back, Greg Weissert, who, if there's a runner on base, I promise you, he's going to score. Giovanni Moran, 17 pitches yesterday, and Ryan Watson, who threw 48 on Sunday, but he's like the human white flag for the Red Sox. So that's the worry as well, under-wise, is I don't know if I can trust the Red Sox bullpen today.
So you're saying the move would be first 3 under, and that's it. The first 3 under is very expensive. Minus 145.
I would prefer first 3 on,
It would have to be a 2 plus money. Minus 145 is probably too much of a risk. TJ says Royals have lost 8 of last 9, 1 of 7 versus East, 2 and 11 versus lefties. Bottom 3 last 14 hitting stats versus lefties. Bullpen disadvantage. Whitlock only threw 7 early shoves. Last 30 days, the Royals are hitting 234 with a 722 OPS versus lefties, compared to the Red Sox over the last 30 days versus righties, 219, 636. But I get it, and I cashed with the Red Sox with you yesterday, even though it was nerve-wracking with the line not moving for us.
Yeah, I don't think Whitlock's available today. Well, I know he's not available today. He's just back-to-back days throwing. No way he'll throw him on a third consecutive day.
The first 3 under, I think, is what I'll add. Now, the first 3 under 2 is very expensive. I mean, well, I should say the first 3 under 2.5 is so expensive that you have to bet the first 3 under 2. Let's just do a very, very quick comparison. So we have a first 3 under 2.5 minus 145 here. That's an 8 minus 115 to the under. If we want to look at the 8 minus 110 each way in the Burrows Joe Ryan start, that first 3 under is minus 125. So we're taking 20 cents more expensive on the first 3 under is quite astonishing. The Savage Schitler, both 8s, minus 110 here. Let's see what their first 3 under is. Their first 3 under is minus 125. I mean, you have Schlittler and Savage with both have, ERAs under 1.5. And I know that's an antiquated statistic, but going up against Walker and Early, and the Walker and Early start is the one that is expected to get to the first 3. I think the first 3 under should be bet, and I will bet it. Bet it. Let's roll on.
First 3 under for Jimmy there. I agree. Brewers Cubs next on our slate here. We've got, let's go to markets. There we go. Connolly Early versus Edward Cabrera. 63% of the bets and 57% of the money on the Cubs. 86 and 90 on the under in this game. Everyone expecting these guys to shove. A minus 110 opener at Bet Online is now minus 116. Bovada opened up at minus 115. They're at minus 121. Heritage at minus 117. They're at minus 120 here. Against lefties, the Cubs in the last 20 days, aka this month so far, 4th worst, 70 weighted runs created plus 148 plate appearances to get there too. Disgusting. What do you think, Jimmy?
Just to help justice here, we have a whole channel dedicated to MMA now. So feel free to head over there and lose our number. But yeah, we have a full channel dedicated to MMA. I think you'll love it. So head over there, and hopefully we never see you again here. Brewers Cubs, Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois. I was slow. That's why I'm going to be at the 115 spot, refreshing over and over and over again, refreshing BOL. Because I could have got that 7.5 at minus 120. Instead, I got that 7 at minus 130, which it's just, I cannot, it's just so irresponsible to make those mistakes. I mean, it quickly moved down to a 6.5, but a 6.5 at minus 110 and a 7 at minus 130, there's not too big of a difference here. But we have, heavy run suppressing weather. First off, we'll go into Ballpark Pal here for Wrigley. It's minus 24% runs, minus 41% homers, minus 20% doubles and triples, and plus 2% singles. The Cubs aren't raking against lefties anymore. They were, but then they went up against some really strong lefties. 264, 738 OPS. We cashed both of our spots here yesterday. We cashed the Brewers first 5 very easily, cashed the full game under. I'm back on the full game under. The question is, should I add to it? I'm not going to add the first 3 under. It's just way, way, way too expensive here. If you're going to bet the first 3 under 2, you want to at least get the plus money situation. We've seen this line move 6 cents towards Edward Cabrera. There hadn't been a move towards him for some time. Now there's a bit of a move. And, cash flow wise, is it that appealing here? You're 63% of tickets, 57% of cash, slight move towards the Cubs. I mean, what is your expectation of Harrison against these Cubbies?
Is the wind blowing in? Because that's what the total makes me. Yeah, I think he probably shoves then. I mean, I thought he was going to pitch well without the wind. So.
TV Jones on Brewers plus 101 says sweep him. Says Cubs offense is awful. Brewers have Yelich, Churio, Vaughn back. Pitching tap as holes being nails. Brewers can manufacture runs without home runs. Cubs lose here. So at this point, I could probably get there. But I am more comfortable here with this under 7. Again, I should have got 7.5. That won't happen today, man. And it's not going to happen again. I'm going to be sitting here at 115 refreshing Bet Online over and over and over again. Now, there's not always these spots that you can smack a line move, but I'm on the under 7 at minus 130. That's my only action at this point, but I will take some more time.
All right, next on our board here, the red hot St. Louis Cardinals versus the Pittsburgh Pirates here. My only future, by the way, was the Cubs to win that division, and boy, oh boy, has that changed dramatically. Mladzinski versus Mitch McGreevy here. 64% of the bets and 66% of the money on McGreevy here. We've got line movement.
Massive line move.
Where'd you go? There we are. Wow, massive indeed. Mladzinski. They opened up at Bet Online minus 140 for the Cardinals. It is now down to minus 111 here for the Cardinals here, Jimmy. I'm assuming this was the same pitching matchup you had last night as well, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mladzinski, who can't get lefties out. This huge move towards him against McGreevy. I mean, we know that McGreevy has this xERA that sticks out like a sore thumb, 5.77, but he seems to continually get soft contact. But keep rolling.
Yeah, no, that's it. I would love to hear your take because I obviously want to bet the Pirates here after that big line movement.
Well, yesterday we were fortunate to cash the Cardinals in the end in extras, but catch the first 3 under with Helen Mitch Keller, going up against Liberator, a pitcher I don't like and hate backing. Shut the Guillermo Zertucci in the house. With all of this being said, there's no way I would ever move. I can't. When the market moves that dramatically to one side, I mean, clearly the Pittsburgh Pirates should just be bet. I mean, we've talked about this over the years, Jose. I mean, at this point, you should just stop looking at your notes and just bet the team with this massive line move with low cash on them.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm on the Pirates. Minus 105 now for me. Good God. Not even getting plus money on that sucks, but, it is what it is.
I mean, look, we keep talking about McGreevy's xERA and what he's supposed to be, what is expected of his pitching. This is a guy who has allowed 2 earned runs over his last 4 starts. One of those starts was in Sacramento. One of those starts was, at Busch Stadium against the Dodgers. He's just, but the stats are telling the Sharps that he's going to get touched up soon. And you could also say that this is a lineup here, with the Cardinals where the lefty bats aren't dangerous and Mladzinski should be fine. I like him. I like Connor Mladzinski. I've been disappointed with his performances of late. His last 2 performances have been fine, though. Thursday, May 14th, 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 7-2 win at home over the Rockies. Friday, May 8th, 2 earned runs over 6 innings, 5-2 loss to the Giants. Before that, May 2nd, he allowed 5 earned runs. That was at home versus the Reds. April 22nd, he allowed 4 earned runs at the Brewers. April 21st, 5 earned runs at the Rangers. And that had come on the heels of 2 straight starts where he didn't allow runs. So maybe he's just hot again and ready to roll. I guess I'm going to have to stay off of the
What's interesting is that this first 5 line obviously didn't move as much as the full game line. Well.
It's very, very interesting, which means that there's still some respect for what McGreevy's doing. This total 8.5, juice to the unders now 7.5, juice to the over. Very small move. And under 8 at minus 125 and over 7.5 minus 114 is minuscule. So I guess I just stay off of the game, honestly. Go back to a first 3 under. I mean, I think it's got to be predicated more on Mladzinski pitching well, I think, than McGreevy getting touched up. But and then that would take us to a first 3 under, and we go to Ballpark Pal for Busch Stadium. It's run suppressing weather, minus 15% runs, minus 26% homers, minus 8% doubles and triples, and plus 2% singles. You'd have to think that helps McGreevy very, very much. And then you have to ask yourself, are these the lefties that will hurt Mladzinski? Weatherholt, Burleson, Gorman, Church, Scott, we know will be in the lineup. That's not a dangerous group. I guess I had first 3 under with 7 question marks last night here, and I got it here as well. T. Jones says, who's coming in for the Cardinals? Bullpen got used up yesterday. Soriano and Stanek only 9 in 12 pitches, but Romero, Graceful, and O'Brien all 20-30 pitches yesterday. Maybe that is the spot. Maybe I think we probably should just do that. I think that we should just follow the books and bet the Pirates like Jose's doing. I guess that's what I should do as well. Just listen to the old vet Jose Bouquet.
I have some free play because I had to pay old Jeremy this week. So I had 135. I put 105 to win 100 on the Pirates. So I'll care about this game significantly.
Okay. Well, I like it. Let's roll on. Let's roll on to Shohei Ohtani going up against Randy Macho Man Vasquez.
Yep, let's talk about it. 2 games left in the Major League Baseball league here. We have Ohtani, like Jimmy mentioned, versus the Macho Man here. Now, Ohtani, again, I believe that he is going for the Cy Young this year. At least he's trying to. 7 shutout innings in his last performance against Los Gigantes. By the way, Jimmy, already 44 innings in. The climb to 150 begins.
Not gonna happen.
We've got 73% of the bets, 62% of the money on Ohtani
I
here.
don't even know if he gets to 100.
We'll see. I look forward to watching. Minus 150 is all the way up to minus 180 at Bet Online. That's where it opened up at minus 150. Heritage minus 164 is minus 188 now. And just for our guy Troy Torrance, Bovada minus 170 is now minus 194 here. Big moves to Ohtani, 73 and 62 on the Dodgers here.
I did move on the Dodgers -1. You know, that 20-cent move we talked about last night. I believe it happened during the show. I believe that went from minus 150 to minus 170 during the show. I couldn't help myself. We've now had 30 cents of movement at BOL. This is not a fade of the Padres and not a fade of Vasquez. It's not even necessarily. I mean, obviously, Ohtani's pitching at an elite level. But and then the Padres sticks seem to wake up at times in big games against the Dodgers. And that Michael King game was so much fun to watch a couple of days ago. But when the Dodgers can be bet on the -1 line at a decent price, I don't know how we don't back them. And here you also have Shohei Ohtani here. So AM says it's a Padres World Series. Yeah, no, it means a ton to the Padres. Petco Park will be banging, and what a great place to watch a ball game. Petco Park minus 11%, runs minus 3%, homers minus 19%, doubles, triples minus 5%, singles. Robert Cherry, well, no, the 100 would not be an even money situation. I would need this, 100. I mean, he's already throwing 44 and we're in May and he's healthy. I would definitely need odds for the 100. The 150 is the fair number right now. I know it's just $10, but I don't care about the money. I care about winning the bet. I could bet $0 and I'd still say I want 150. Jose, I'm on the Dodgers -1.
All right, let's roll on to our last game. A's Angels here. Nice little ender of the nights here. Savali versus Kohanowitz. Wow, 72% of the money, 83% of the bets on Savali here. Pretty surprising. Line has ticked down a little bit. Bet online -120 openers, now -118. So that's fascinating. Heritage -127 is now down to -123. So that's interesting. What do you think?
Well, Savali's been so good to me. He's hot right now. We know what happens when Savali heats up. Kohanowitz has been the opposite. He's cost me so much money over the last all year. It was my fault. I was like, oh God, I think Kohanowitz is going to step up. And he had that bad first start against the Astros. And then he shoved for 6 starts in a row. And I was like, see? Fucking God. There's our guy, Ricky Levine, in the house. The Angels 6.01 ERA from their bullpen, 1.55 whip over the last 30 days. It's an atrocity. But this is a very difficult line to bet into. Savali, I think, yeah, you remember this, Jose, from the Friday show. I accidentally, because I had the A's first 5 -0.5 because Savali was just printing money for me. And then I accidentally bet, instead of the -1, I bet a full unit on the money line and a full unit on the run line. And I just let it go. I was like, whenever I try to fix mistakes, it doesn't help me. The mistakes tend to be, to roll with. And There is enough flush says I can't believe how fast time is flying. It feels like just yesterday. Jimmy was kicking Jose off the screen. I haven't done that in years now, right? When was the last time? You're muted though. Maybe I should do it now.
No, things haven't changed yet. Not flush. I think I got kicked off the other day for something. I don't remember exactly.
No, you have not. I've not pulled you in years. And AM says fading the Angels being wonderful. Look, how do you make sense of this line, Jose? I mean, I can't make sense of it here.
Yeah, it's a weird line. It's pretty cheap for, well, the Savali being favored is weird in any game here. And then Kohanowicz isn't very good. Road favorite. I don't love it. It's a pass game for me. Weird game.
The Angels are hitting 211, 591 OPS the last 30 days versus righties. Dodgers A's 264, 782.
All the money on all the money on Savali, and the line doesn't care really.
So. I imagine it'll start caring. Look, there have been a lot of spots where I'm like, look, this. Of course I wouldn't bet this last year, but it's hard for me to let go of Aaron Savali. Because he's still got some bad outlying numbers: 2.70 ERA, 1.39 WHIP's got a 4.37 xERA. But he's been pitching at such a high level right now. I guess they're saying that Kohanowicz is going to have a nice bounce back start. Consecutive starts at home. He just faced the Dodgers. This will be easier. The A's are hitting righties harder than the Dodgers are right now. I guess I got time to sit with this. So, Nutbush says when you have food stands being shut down for rodent infestation, you should always fade the team. Angels facts from Not Flush Allen. I'm going to sit with this for longer. I mean, I've had A's first 5.5 with 5 question marks here for a while. Why don't we just do our due diligence on the price difference here between full game and first 5 over at Penny? The full game price. So we have the A's minus 119, and then first 5, they're minus 119. So telling us that there's no advantage with Savali over Kohanowicz, who's got a 4.56 ERA, 1.36 WHIP, and a 5.52 xERA. We're about to get into the NBA and San Francisco 49er on Champagny over 14.5 points and rebounds. Jose, we don't have you for much longer, so let's be tight here. Let's do a review of your Major League Baseball action.
Sure. I will start off with that $100 free play bet. Again, very transparent. $100 free play on the Pirates minus 105 there. Nationals first 5, even money. Rockies full game at plus 105. That is my card. Pirates, Rockies, Nationals. Gross.
I have the Reds first 5 and the Reds full game. We've had this massive move towards the Phillies while this show has been going on. That doesn't generally work out well. It is sitting here now. The Phillies are minus 149. They were minus 137 an hour and 1 minute ago. So that is a concern here. So Reds first 5 full game. I'm another mistake. Toronto, New York Yankees under 7.5 minus 105. Look, if I had the conviction to move on at an 8, I'd feel fine about it. But Milwaukee, Chicago under 7 minus 130. I'm on Diamondbacks first 5 in full game. Rangers money line. Braves first 5 minus half. Dodgers minus 1. A lot of very public action. Nationals first 3 and first 5. I'd say I like those bets the best, honestly, here. And then when we have the additions, and we'll quickly go through these here. The additions that I plan on moving on. I may join you guys on the Rays. I don't know. The first 3 under in the full game under in Astros Twins feels appealing. Astros first 5 plus a half. I think I could let go of. And then the further additions here. I'm not sure if I move on that under in White Sox Mariners, the Zag under, or the Mariners first 5 minus a half. I'm going to study that a little bit longer. The Guardians, I'm interested in Bybee. I'm going to study it a little bit more. I'm not certain that I'm going to move on it. The first 3 under in Boston, Kansas City, I'll be betting as soon as the show is over. And then a possible first 3 under with Majinski and McGreevy. And then I think that the market is really screaming Pirates. And that's my action here for Wednesday, May 20th. Jose, set a table for us. The Spurs trying their best to make my dreams come true and wipe away all the mistakes. It's a pretty prosperous opportunity here. Jose, set us a table, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, West Game 2 Finals.
Yeah, San Antonio Spurs, Oklahoma City Thunder, a game that Jimmy and I care about tremendously. We've imagined we were going to be here for a long time, and here we are. Now I'll say this: I don't expect De'Aaron Fox to play again. Why would he? They already got the game. They already got the game they needed. So why would he here? But I understand that all my capping logic dictates here that the Oklahoma City Thunder will come out and smack the Spurs in the mouth here. Spurs got that win that they needed. Now the Thunder are going to come out super desperate, et cetera, et cetera. But Jimmy, I can't shake it. I can't shake it. It feels like the San Antonio Spurs are a mirror image of the Oklahoma City Thunder, but the Spurs just do it that much a little better. And, obviously number one down and low is the guy that makes everything different. But I think they're two very similar teams. I think the Spurs are just that much better now. You'll see, and I'm sure everyone has already saw, San Antonio 5-1 against the Oklahoma City Thunder this year. I'm worried about two things going into this game. Obviously, the Thunder desperation and Wemby and company coming off of 47 minutes, the most he's played in probably his whole NBA career. A little worried about that, but man, I don't know, Jimmy. I don't know how good this Spurs team is, but I lean Spurs, and I understand everyone betting the Thunder, or the people that are betting the Thunder. I understand it completely, but it's just crazy how this Spurs team is. So what do you think?
Well, I think this is easy. First off, though, I am just going to cover my action here. So I'm just going to cover my action at this point with the head. So I'm only going to put a little over 1,000, just to cover the two $500 bets. And then it's just a free ride on the Spurs. I'm not going to add more than that. But I think this is just very easy personally. And I did time this one right. I got the Thunder -6. I also have Shea over 28.5 points. That line's moved against me. I'm not going back to the well with Chet. I loved the look. Robert Franklin going back to the well. With Wemby defending the perimeter, if Chet doesn't step up tonight, there's a real problem. Going up against smaller defenders, he's got to force the issue. Now, the problem is he's expending so much energy defending, which is why we took the under 15.5. I'm not going back to the well. I don't dislike it at all here.
Yeah. Wemby's hate for Chet and now a hate for SGA is really to be inspired. Shout out to him.
But we've seen the Thunder in this situation twice last year. They lose game 1 to the Denver Nuggets at home. They beat them by 43 in game 2. They lose game 1 of the NBA Finals to the Pacers, and they beat them by 16 in game 2. Look, I want the Spurs to win, but it's just not going to stop me from betting probably the easiest bet to me on the board. You have the bias that the public's going to have after watching the Spurs menace in game 1. Remember, that was Jalen Williams' first game in 3.5 weeks, a month. He still looked really good. The Thunder get slapped in the face for the first time in the playoffs. They were 8-0. So, let's compare it. Like, what happened to the Spurs when they lost game 1 against the Timberwolves? What did they do in game 2? What happened when the Spurs look, they smack back? It's impossible to me for the Spurs not to feel pretty good about the situation. You touched on De'Aaron Fox not needing to play. Look, I think the Spurs are going to have intensity. They want to dethrone the Thunder. They want this opportunity for their first chip. They know that they got the unicorn healthy right now, and it's time to go. But look, I think that this is easy. And I could be wrong. I mean, it's just like any other situation, but you don't need to look and break down the stats and the pace and the shooting and the matchups to me in this one. The defending NBA champs got punched in the mouth. And if you believe that they're not going to punch back, I think it's very, very dangerous. So I'm on the -6 with the Spurs. I got it -116. I'm on Shea over 28.5 points. I got that -102. I looked this morning, it was +103. It's moving against me. And that had already moved to 7 too. Now it was 7 -105 each way. But now it's -7, -110 to the Thunder. This is going to be a 7.5 soon. The sharpest books are moving towards the Thunder. Thankfully, we timed this one right with the 6 last night after the show. And then let's just see what Shea's 28.5 is now. Maybe it's a 27.5. That would make me uncomfortable. Yeah, the over 28.5 now is +104. It keeps moving towards the under. So there you go. Mark A on the +6. Look, you don't talk friends off of dogs. And, Danzo says Spurs are playing with the house's money and the champs are about to get smacked. I read so many books about cognitive biases here, and I think this is the best bet on the entire sports board here. I think it might be better than the Avalanche. So I'm on the Thunder. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm not wrong and the Thunder win by 3. That'd be the worst fucking thing, which could easily happen. So we'll see. We'll see how this bangs out. But I'm on the Thunder -6, -116. I think it's a great bet. I'm on Shea over 28.5. That's moving against me. He went 7 of 23 from the field. Hard to expect that to happen again. I'm not messing with the total in this one here. I would prefer, if we're going to start moving on unders, to wait till later in the series. But that's my action here, Jose, for Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Now, I know you have a hard out now, my friend. So are you going to bid adieu here? Can we keep you for a couple more minutes? What's your plan?
Yeah, I have to depart you, unfortunately. But I will ask you a quick question before you go. When do you start looking at the flights, Jimmy?
Well, the thing is that only you guys know exactly how much money I'm going to make.
Yes.
I kind of want to keep that. So I haven't decided how to handle things here.
Okay, well, fair enough. Those flights are going to get expensive the later you wait, and you can't. It's a difficult thing you've got to navigate here. So I wish you luck.
I'll talk to Jeff about it, though.
I wish you guys luck here. Shout out to you guys, everyone in the chat. Obviously, I'll be back here tomorrow, so don't you worry. We'll be back grinding again here. But it should be a lot of fun. Thank you guys all for the nice words on Twitter. Thank you guys for watching the program. Jimmy has a WNBA bet. That's the reason you guys need to just keep watching this. He has a WNBA bet. Must tail, must listen. WNBA breakdown.
We're just 6-3 to start the year, but we should be 7-2, man. Such bullshit.
But I can't wait.
Jose, we love you. We get you back tomorrow, right? We get you back tomorrow.
7-3 tomorrow in the WNBA. I can't wait.
Much love, Jose. We're not going to talk about missing him right now. Let's not do all that because we still get him here on the morning show. If he was actually Gonzo, I mean, this would have a different feeling here. And he's not going to be, behind the scenes, but we get him here Tuesday to Friday in the morning. That's what matters. Let's talk about the West Final. Vegas Golden Knights, Colorado Avalanche. We capped this game very heavily last night. I moved on the Colorado Avalanche on the -1 line as soon as I could, as soon as available. -180 on the money line, +140 on the puck line. I got a -117. This line isn't moving tremendously towards Colorado Avalanche. The -1 is still available. Our guy AM is on the other side. He's on the Avalanche. I believe did he take the +1.5? I can't remember. This line's come back. It went from -185 when it opened up a bet online. It opened up -180 at bet 365. It got up to -200 on Monday night. Came back 10 cents yesterday morning, and it's come back 2 more cents this morning. And it's a pretty simple situation here for me. If we're talking injuries, I expect Cale Makar to play and not be 100%. That's the expectation. He's not been practicing. Bednar doesn't seem too concerned. We do know that Malinsky and Lehkonen will be back. That's going to be very, very helpful. And it doesn't look like Mark Stone is going to play, and that hurts the Knights badly. Now, you know what? If Mark Stone comes back for Game 3 in Vegas when they're down 2-0, that's a nice boost. I'm a big Mark Stone fan. He's not fleet of foot, but man, does this guy know the game? He's just such a smart hockey player. But this is where I will talk about the situation. I mean, we talk about special teams and how important they are. Vegas special teams have been quite good through the playoffs. 25.7% power play, 86.8% penalty kill. The Colorado special teams, they have a 25% power play in the playoffs. Remember, it was just 17.1 during the regular season. It stepped up. 79.3% penalty kill. This was a very, very... Both these penalty kills were strong during the regular season, but the Avalanche was elite. We've watched Devon Taves step up in a huge way, but that's not it either for me. Here, what happened at the trade deadline? Well, the Avalanche picked up Nazem Kadri and Nicholas Waugh. Nicholas Waugh was part of the Vegas Stanley Cup winning hockey team. When you add Kadri and Nicholas Waugh to your center depth, it's enormous. It's enormous. And what has happened is that this Avalanche team 5-on-5 is absolutely the best in the National Hockey League. You know, there's no question marks. The whole idea of backing them at plus 900 to win the Stanley Cup was that if McKinnon and Makar are healthy, they're not being stopped. I mean, look at what Martin Necas does playing alongside McKinnon. So if we go to 5-on-5, which is just so crucial here, if the special teams are somewhat of a wash, which I believe they are, the Avalanche 5-on-5 have a 56% shot attempts percentage advantage over the opposition. Vegas against Utah and Anaheim, two teams that I don't think are very good. They will be good at some point, especially the Ducks, but they're not that good yet. 48.5%. 5-on-5, the Avalanche have outscored the opposition 23-13. Golden Knights 5-on-5, 25-25 against, again, teams that I deem weak. The Pacific Division was trash this year. And what, Torts is going to change everything? The Avalanche had 16 different goal scorers in their series against Minnesota. 16 in 5 games. They're deep as the ocean. That ties an NHL record. The 2025 Blues in the first round, the 2019 Boston Bruins in the final, the 1993 LA Kings in the division semifinal, and the Bruins in the Stanley Cup final in 1988. 18 of 21 players who have dressed for the Avalanche in the postseason have scored a point. Then you go to the high-pressure situations in net. And Wedgwood's been spectacular. So that's a 5-on-5 when the game is tied in the first or second period or within a goal of the third period. The NHL average postseason save percentage is .912. For Carter Hart, he's at .892. And there we go. I don't have the Avalanche to win the conference. And I'm almost certain it was like a plus 375, or I don't think it was a plus 400, because even a 400 I might have gone for. If they had offered me a plus 450, I imagine I have it in my pocket. Obviously, now I look back and kind of wish that I had it, but I don't. So I need to make money in this series. And I'm going to be on the Avalanche on the -1 line in every game. And if Cale Makar gets hurt, because we know he's not playing 100%, I will bet it again. But I'll wait, because I think people will look. Makar's spectacular. I don't want him to get hurt, so I don't want to talk that into existence here. Newkirker is on the Avs puck line. There's Markel in the house. AM is on that +1.5. Danzo says, I like the Vegas Golden Knights tonight. The Avalanche have been sitting a little too long. Look at those teams after the winter break, and that's it for a week. I'm very happy that they were sitting, though. When you in the NHL, especially NBA too, but not as much as NHL, you want the break. If that means they're lackadaisical in game 1, I need Lehkonen back healthy, need Malinsky back healthy, need Makar off of his skates. I hear what you're saying, Danzo, and there's a lot of truth to it. Robert Franklin on the Avs in regulation. Philly Eagle Flyer in the house. It's great seeing you at Delaware Park, betting horse with the boys. Philly Eagle Flyer, that was dope. So there we go. Big O in the house. Great to see you, Big O. No score in the first 10 minutes. Godfather says, I like a live bet. Yes, that's another thing. +1.5 -155. Okay, thank you. +1.5 -155. That's another thing. Like the Edmonton Oilers of last year, if the Avalanche go down, bet them. Now, I am a big proponent of only betting them once. So, when they went down 3-0, I'm sure there's some cappers who made a lot of money. It's just, I think you need to be very, very strict with your live betting. And I'm very strict with my NHL live betting. I think there's only been one spot all year where I bet it again. I can't remember the game. And I kept betting it. What was that game? I don't know. But I was in the soup and I kept betting it. But generally speaking, I only want to bet it once. So if the Avalanche go down at any time during the series, bet them. And don't wait too long. All right, that is the National Hockey League. I'm on the -1 at -117. And let's get into the WNBA to close out the proceedings here. 9 p.m. Eastern with the Dallas Wings at the Chicago Sky here. Was it Vegas Knights? Yeah, who was it against? I can't remember. I was so confident in that spot, and I just kept betting it. But I guess it was against Utah, but I don't. All right, so here we go. We don't need to spend too much time. We got to put a ball on the show. But Rakea Jackson has been nothing short of spectacular since the Chicago Sky picked her up. 18.5 points per game. She, tears her Achilles and she's now done for the season. The two things that I talked about so much with Justin last year that weren't working were backing teams off of 30-point losses and then backing teams losing their star player. What I thought about when I was sitting on the beach in Mexico was it's just 1 year. Like, if you look at what Operation Garcia has done for me, Operation Garcia has cost me money this year. And it was spectacular last year. I mean, just things change. And I don't have the sample size to say that what works for me for sure in the NBA is not going to work in the WNBA. It didn't work last year. It didn't work. So this year, the first two times teams lost by 30 points, I bet them immediately. I've cashed them both. And now I am backing the Chicago Sky in their home opener against the Dallas Wings. Look, Dallas Wings are healthy. They're a guard-heavy team, and they're healthy. I think that all of the role players step up for the Sky in their home opener. And we talked about it last night. So this had gone from 1.5 to 3.5. And I was like, oh, my God, are we going to get a 4? And then during the show, it moved back to 3 and to 2.5, and I panicked. I got the 3, a +3 at -115 at Bet Online, and was very thankful. And now we have 2.5s. Now 2.5. Some of these 2.5s are, those aren't reputable books. Actually, Heritage is back at a 3. So you can get a 3 again at Heritage. Wow. And that's interesting. So they've gone a different route because this was a 2.5 at Heritage this morning. So an hour ago, they moved it to 3. But AM is on the under. We had Aloha Isai Rolla tell us last night to take that under at 170.5. I'm trying to stay away from totals here. Philly Eagle Flyers is headed to lunch break, watching all the Phillies fans partying the game, about to ask for a beer. Sounds like a nice city to live in, man. So I'm on the Chicago Sky. I don't need to add much more of that. I expect them to step up in their home opener without their superstar. They played above the sum of their parts. They made some nice moves in the offseason, and that was showing especially with Rakea. They're well coached, and I think they step up here against the Dallas Wings. Full game, +3, -115. It seems like that's available at Heritage in a couple books. So let's move here. And Godfather says it was the Knights versus Canucks. Yes, I think that was definitely it. Because I wouldn't have been that confident against the Mammoth. It was Knights versus Canucks. It was when they had Tortorella. You're absolutely right. Thank you, Godfather. And I just kept betting it. But I was in the soup. That's no excuse, But that's the only time all year. I really, really believe in that. Only betting it once when the team goes down 1 goal. It just keeps everything very clean. But thank you, Godfather. Thank you, my man. Well, that is our show for today. It was wonderful having Jose Bouquet back in business. I cannot wait for these games. We got MLB action popping off here in a second, and I can promise you from now on at 1:15 p.m. I'm going to be sitting there refreshing Bet Online over and over and over again, and I'll put out on X anything that I move on immediately. Yes, an early game MLB recap. Absolutely nasty. Nate, my man. We have for the early games. Oh, well, let's talk first about action from a guy in our chat. Stacks play of the day number 1 is Ellie De La Cruz over 1.5 bases. Play of the day number 2, Oklahoma City Thunder. Team total over 111.5. Gamma Ray play of the day is the Avs. Puck line at +135. Flank Steak play of the day is the Braves run line. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day is the Minnesota Twins. And Los Chudy play of the day is Aston Villa moneyline -160 with a trust me beside it. And TC's play of the day is the Reds +122. First off, Nasty Nate, there's been a massive move towards the Philadelphia Phillies. There's our guy, Ramel Davis, in the house. Has any double-up bets today? Yes, Washington Nationals first 3, first 5. And Thunder -6 and Shea over 28.5 points. I think those are the only double-up bets. But look, there's just been this huge move towards the Phillies. The books are telling me I'm about to take a bath here with Andrew Abbott. So I don't think I would. I think that you got to stay away from my action there. We have the whole chat on the Tampa Bay Rays. Whole chat back in the Rays here. I might get there. We got an hour and 15 before it pops off. Also, that first 300 in full game under, I'm very interested in Astros Twins. I want to spend a little more time on. It does correlate with the Astros first 5 +0.5, which I'm not against. So I don't have a real confident spot. Like the Reds was the first bet I made yesterday at like 2:30, 2:45 p.m. I thought this line would move in my favor, and it's moved against me. I am on the Rangers, but even that line's moved against me. That's at 3:10 p.m. At 3:40 p.m. Okay, I think that's the spot that we kind of agree with. And again, the full game's moved in my direction. The first 5 moves a little bit against me. It's the Arizona Diamondbacks. Backing Arizona Diamondbacks. That's at 3:40 p.m. Eastern. That's a double up spot. TJ's action here. Thank you for sharing it with us. TJ, Tampa Bay money line, Minnesota first 5 money line. Okay, interesting. Thank you for sharing that with us. And then I can just focus on the unders. Seattle first 5 and full game. Boston money line. Washington first 5. I'm with them on that one. The Washington first 3 and first 5 are the bets that I like the most on the entire card. Let me just get TJ's action here. Thank you again, TJ. And Arizona money line and Milwaukee money line. That is our show for today. We have the daily sesh popping off right after this. A Dutch boy fresh 6-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals thus far, or I think in the conference finals. Sorry, 6-0 in the conference finals so far. He's got 3 bets in today's game, in today's big Thunder Spurs game. Daily sesh popping off in 14 minutes. I love what's going on over there with Dutchie and Dabby Cab, Wham Bam 3000, and of course Chappie Funk, Mr. Funkadelic on the 1s and 2s. So please head over and support our guys on the daily sesh. On behalf of all of us at Pub Sports Radio, thank you guys so much for supporting the show. We have closing line at 5 p.m. with Mr. Peter Loshak. We also have another video on how to win betting baseball with Troy Torrance. That's going to be premiering here shortly. Those are great videos, really fun watches. So check them out from Mr. Troy Torrance. And then I will be back in business with you guys 10 p.m. Eastern, the nightly bag. Let's get this money, man. On behalf of all of us, Pub Sports Radio, thank you guys so much for your support. Josh Witt, we are thinking about you in surgery, man. Just trust and stay positive, and everything's going to be okay. Thank you guys so much, man. Love to all of you guys. Let's get this money, man. Leche! Hey, los bookmakers.
It's easier to sleep in the black when you're losing your ass and feeling so. You know what to do. Tune in to Pub Sports Radio. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's a roller coaster ride, you're gonna catch a bad beat. No problem, keep your head up and just bet the spreadsheet. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. All thanks to Jeff Slaughter, these shows have our backs. POD's always rolling, especially the stats. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. We got Jimmy, Jose, Dabby and the fam, Dutch wine time, Spooner and OG Wham. So hit the like button, don't say that you can't. If you know what's best, just put your money on tape.